Hey guys, Shelemental here. So for this video, I wanted to talk to you guys about Legion. With all this Battle for Azeroth coverage here on the channel, and Taurus the Burning Throne, the final raid of Legion, coming out in less than a week, I figured it's the perfect time to talk about how this expansion went as a whole. What did I like about it? What didn't I like? How did it change from the start towards the end, and just about everything in between. In this video, we will discuss from the launch of the X-Pack to where 7.3 hit with us, not including this new raid because we haven't tried it out yet, obviously, minus the beta. PTR, excuse me. I will try to give you guys the information in a quick way, and I won't go too deep into any one topic. With that being said, let's get right into it. So when Legion was first announced, it looked really promising in the eyes of the player base. We see big reveals by Blizzard, like getting to wield the Ashbringer or even be a Demon Hunter. Nevertheless, this expansion just looked like a lot of fun to players in many different aspects, and people, like most X-Packs, couldn't wait to get into the new world and check everything and anything about it out. Major lore characters popping up, and overall it just looks like a hell of a lot of fun. Then the expansion was first released, and believe it or not, the launch went way more smoothly than it did in Warlords. It went really well. Players were leveling through the new zones, and in fact, they were loving them. With this new scaling technology, it gave you leveling freedom, and people just found this more compelling and interesting, packed with cinematics and lore characters all throughout. But before all of this, we did have the integration of our artifact weapons, order halls, and the Demon Hunter. So the artifact quests were actually pretty successful in X-Pack, and I felt as though they kept up with the theme that we see throughout the expansion of class identity. It really made me proud to be Paladin, for instance, wielding the Ashbringer. It just felt cool getting to do the quest line, and it just felt really awesome. And of course, the Demon Hunters. I actually loved the intro quest where you were in the Warden's prison as a Demon Hunter, and you're fighting alongside Illidan, but I won't go too into detail, but it just felt really awesome. Later in the expansion, that opinion hasn't changed, and I still love their fantasy, and I love how they play as a class. It feels very unique. So then going back to the leveling, I won't go into too much detail really, but each zone had a goal, felt unique, and had some really cool quests. We still see some kill and collect quests, unfortunately, but that's just what WoW is. But we see them in a new and fun way, like the rune drawing quest in Azuna, for example, and even in some of the dungeons, like the Halls of Valor, like that golden ramp that you go up when you become a ball of light. That's just cool stuff that you get in the leveling. So yeah, it really came out really good on the player's eyes. And then we had the dungeon quest at the end of each zone, which took you to one of the dungeons, and I really loved that concept. It gave you a reason to enter into each one and tied it into the story, which I cared about more than ever. This is the first expansion, by the way, guys, that I hit max level and continued on questing just so I could finish the story because I was invested in it. I remember I dinged 110 with one chapter left in High Mountain, and I said, I want to go back and do it just because I cared that much. Friend game, I won't really talk much, if all, about raids or PvP, only about other means of content everyone was required to do or did. So, there were world quests. I actually really enjoyed these, and at first would clear a whole zone of them just because they felt unique, with some being like puzzles with the box type puzzle, if you know what that is, and others just killing things. But unfortunately, even those before the first patch drop, we saw the problem with the artifact weapons, and that was the main problem with the expansion. And it was the grind. The AP grind felt endless and really got out of the way in hand in terms of pure number value really quickly, kind of the millions and then the future billions. I've intentionally not talked about Suramar up until now, as I hated the zone because of flying, but Insurrection was a good thing. Coming with patch 7.1, it gave us weekly unlocked content that was new, and at the end granted us the Mana Saber mount, which is a really good looking mount. Patch 7.1 was overall good, and I really liked what it brought and how it kept up with the expansion's theme, and unlike Warlords, it didn't give us a content show. Patch 7.2 though, claimed to be the biggest patch in WoW, it rolls around. What does it bring us? Close to nothing. So guys, patch 7.2 was a big bust. It really sucked as a patch and did not deliver all what we had been promised, at least not the way we had expected. It brought us the Grinding Shore, which gave us more world quests, yay, and then another shard grind to unlock gear tokens. This patch did not do well with player base, and it just sucked nuts overall. But for me, I remember this patch for one reason: flying. Flying. I hated grinding flying, and I've made videos about this, and just the past two expansions made me do it. It's one of my least favorite things to do in WoW. I made a separate video on this, guys, so I won't say too much about it, just I hated every second. So go watch the video, and it gives you full coverage of how to do it and what my thoughts on it were. And finally, what I think the saving grace of this entire expansion was patch 7.3. Well, if I know just how big patch 7.3 actually was, I really wouldn't have believed it could come out in just one patch. 3 new zones, Terralia and Illyria, Argus, Titans, new world quests, over 20 mounts, which I just unlocked by the Mana Ray mounts, they look great, patch-driven narrative content, a new flight system, and a new progression system. I mean, it sounds more like a mini expansion at that point. So I was really excited for this patch, and playing it, it was really all that. was really hit home and delivered this patch, guys. It just made us subscribers of WoW who stuck through everything really seem like we earned this. Patch 7.3 brought with it a lot of replayability, and the new zones look incredible. They're very unique models, and unlike the Broken Shore, which was the same green we saw throughout the expansion, this patch just made me want to quest MX level, and I loved it. All three of the new zones look incredible, and unlike the Broken Shore, as I said, they had their own feel to it, which is really, really good. With the new raid coming out Tuesday, I think it's safe to call this the biggest patch of WoW ever. So with all that being said, what did I think about Legion, its content cycle, and the fun times, not hard times, I had in those zones? I actually really loved it. That's coming after Mists and WoD, both of which didn't really do well with the player base at all, but this expansion really went back to our roots and just did a lot right. Not everything right, but it did a lot of it right. It gave us everything I could have asked for from this expansion, some of which I didn't even think I could cover in a video, like 3 new zones in one patch. Like, I didn't think I would ever be talking about that. In my very speedy way of covering this expansion, I really did like Legion. And guys, I didn't really cover the raids, Mythic Plus, or PvP, just because not everyone was doing that. But really quick, the raids were good, PvP, better than last expansion, still not perfect, and Mythic Plus, really, really, really great feature, one of the best in the entire expansion. Without going over any more specifics I just covered, it really gave me a sense of class identity and just the fun that I could be had in WoW. So that's all for this one, guys. I hope you guys did enjoy. I just went over a lot, and if you guys do or don't agree with me, let me know why in the comments down below. With that being said, that's all for me, guys. Subscribe for more WoW content, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.